I'm STEMilyK, your hostess to the world of STEM, and today I'm here with Miss Hirschberg, the Department Chair of the Computer Science Department here at Columbia University. So first I just wanted to start with your educational background. So could you talk about the influence STEM had on that and then the specifics of what your educational background actually is?
So I didn't really discover STEM, although I did like math in high school a lot. I was very good at it. But I ended up becoming a professor of history first. So I have 2 PhDs, one in history and one in computer science. And the way I discovered STEM, or in particular computer science, I was finishing my PhD in history. And I was doing a quantitative study of 16th century Mexico. Wow. So I had lots and lots of data. And for a while, I was trying to put it all together and develop social networks and figure out where everybody lived. And I was using 3x5 cards, which were almost non-existent now. And so I started teaching history at Smith College. And I started meeting people who were in computer science. And one of them was in history, and he had an undergraduate student who was triple majoring in physics, computer science, and history. And he had developed some software that my friend Fred said, oh, you could probably use this for Latin America. So I first hired a PhD student at UMass Amherst to do some programming for me, and it was in the programming language Lisp, which was a great language. It was my first language, but not one that's terribly popular now. But we teach it at Columbia, actually, and students really like it. Awesome. And so basically, I couldn't afford to pay this guy forever, and so I started learning how to program myself.
That's great. Yeah.
And I spent a whole summer learning how to program, learning to code. And it was so much fun. I never had so much fun. And so I started thinking about, oh, my friends were saying, so I developed friends at UMass Amherst in their computer science department. And they said, maybe you should go back to school and get a master's degree in computer science. So my husband was teaching then at UPenn, also in history. Yeah. And we were commuting between Philadelphia and Western Massachusetts. So I went back to school for just a semester at UPenn, and I had so much fun that I decided I really want to do this instead of history. I did finish my history dissertation. So I went back to Smith. I took great math courses to prepare me for going back to school. I got into Penn in computer science, and while I was there, they said, maybe you want to go on for a PhD in computer science. So I did, in natural language processing, which I also love. So that's the story. It's a little unusual.
That's great, though.
I think the lesson you learn from this is you never really know when you're starting out what you're going to end up doing. So you could start out in one area. I might get interested in another, and it's no problem. Go back to school and learn what you need to learn.
So being department chair of the computer science department, there's not many women that are department chairs of computer science departments at many colleges. So what is the biggest lesson that you've learned through your journey to get here?
I don't think it's because I'm a female person, but what I've learned as department chair, so I'm in my the 6th year, and I've learned a lot. And basically, one thing you learn is you do as much as you can do, but you don't have to solve every problem, at least not immediately. But that's one thing I really like about being chair. You do get an opportunity to help people solve problems, whether they're faculty or students or whatever, or staff, because you make a lot of connections. You get to know a lot of people that you can contact if somebody needs X or Y. Yeah. And so that's been the best part. I was raised this way from the time I was a little kid to try to help other people, and I really like doing it.
So with the computer science students here, what do you think is maybe the hardest part or the most challenging part they experience when pursuing major and a degree in computer science?
Well, one problem they do experience, and this is everywhere throughout the country, is that there's a huge demand for computer science courses. So you have to learn to plan your programs carefully so that you can take everything that you want. But most people who do this are very happy with their experience. So that's one thing. It seems like it might be a trivial thing, but it turns out to be important to people. The other thing is it's very important to continue and get your degree. Some people think, oh, I don't need a bachelor's degree. There are famous people who haven't gotten one. I'll just, go out and join a startup or start my own company. Most of those people end up coming back.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier to just continue and get the degree than it is to go out, experience something really different, and then have to become a student again. It's a lot easier just to stay being a student, and then you could have plenty of jobs. And I think that's another problem people have, which is not a bad problem.
Yeah.
How do you decide of all the job offers you get, which one to take? And you just have to do your research, talk to people who are there. One kind of useful thing to do, I don't know how many people in high school know about this, but there's a Grace Hopper conference that happens every year, and you can go there and talk to people from all sorts of different companies or also all sorts of different universities about what you should think, the possibilities. We also have a program I should mention for your viewers.
Yeah.
So I'm a co-chair of the CRAW. That's a Computing Research Association Committee on Women.
That's great.
And we run tons of programs from that are designed to help people from undergraduates through their faculty experience. And we have a lot of programs. I would suggest that maybe you could put this on your website. Check out the CRAW programs for the DREW program, which is summer internships, and then there's also the grad cohort program, which is for the first 3 years of grad students, and it just helps women, first of all, at the undergraduate level, get a taste of research and what it's really like. They get to go to a different university with different faculty and find out what research is like there. And the grad cohort thing is a wonderful, wonderful program that helps people navigate their first early years of getting their PhD to keep them in the PhD program when they feel like, oh, I don't know if I should still do it. It's a great program. It really helps.
So, what are some of the, if you could name maybe one or two of the prominent honors or awards that you've received, and could you explain what they are and what they mean?
Well, in the past few years, I've gotten quite a few, which is very nice, a very humbling experience. The most recent one is I was elected to the National Academy of Engineering, which not very many people in my field have gotten into, and we definitely would like to get more people from computational linguistics and into that august body. I'm going to be inaugurated, that is, into the organization in October. So that was fabulous. I also am a fellow of about, I think it's 5 different organizations. So being a fellow means it's an honor that you get from a professional organization which says you've done really good work and you've been influential and things like that. So I'm a fellow of the ACM, IEEE, ACL, which is the Association for Computational Linguistics, ISCA, which is the International Speech Communication Association, and one other one that I can't remember at the moment, but anyhow, it's really great.
So, lastly, I just wanted to ask you, why do you believe that girls, no matter what they might want to do later on in their lives, why should they pursue some type of STEM field?
Well, I can speak mostly about computer science. but I think everyone probably needs some training in computer science because it is pretty ubiquitous and it can't hurt. It can only help. So just from a practical point of view, but also I would say try it. You may love it. You may not. If you haven't tried, it's not just programming, it's problem solving. I got into it originally from both angles. I wanted to solve a problem, but then the way to solve it in such a systematic and, I don't know, I can't really describe it, but such an intriguing and wonderful way. It was just so much fun. You write a program, it doesn't work. You figure out, how can I decide why this didn't solve the problem that I wanted to solve? And then you learn methods of debugging, and then you make a better program, and when it works, you're like, yes, makes my day.
So I want to thank Ms. Hirschberg for giving up her time and speaking to us today about computer science. And again, I'm STEMilyK, your hostess to the world of STEM.